On the line right now, the mayor of Ocean City. He's been the mayor since 2006. He's been on the city council since 1985. Rick Meehan is on the line. Hello, Mr. Mayor. How are you?
Good morning, guys. Doing great.
All right. So, I mean, I see these ads on TV that say, hey, come to Ocean City. But it seems like you need to put a little addendum on there, but not if you want to rent a house for a week. What's up with this?
Well, you know, single-family homes are in all jurisdictions. Are usually those areas are treated a little bit differently, and we have about 26,000 condominiums that are rental units in different areas. And then there are some single-family homes in the residential neighborhoods, and those residential neighborhoods are usually the areas where the year-round residents live. And we've had some issues, as you've seen in other areas in college towns or areas such as that, where when you rent homes in single-family neighborhoods, it disturbs the neighborhood or causes problems. We've had some complaints, so what's taking place is our Planning and Zoning Commission is holding a public hearing to discuss the issue. The issue isn't, are we going to allow it or not allow it? The issue is, what are the problems, what is it we need to do to address them, and what can we do to make it a better situation for everybody?
So you're telling me right now that all of these stories that have been written about this that say that they may ban weekly rentals in Ocean City are wrong?
I could say that it would be possible, but that is not what the hearing will be about. The hearing will be about what are the problems, what are the complaints been, what are the laws that are currently on the books, how can they be better enforced, and what else can we do to make it more compatible.
But you would agree with me that there are those who want that to happen. They want to ban.
Oh, there are some that would say we don't want that to happen at all. And, you know, sometimes when you go to a public hearing and they start to hear what everybody else has to say and understand the situation of others, you know, that can change as well. So public hearings are healthy in that regard, and I think they give everybody a better idea of what a situation is and what you can do if you work together to resolve it. There are laws on the books now that are difficult to enforce, and we have to work with the real estate industry to enforce them more. You're only allowed to have so many people in a house. You're only allowed to have so many people that are unrelated in one rental property in a single-family neighborhood, and those rules are in place to prevent problems. So maybe what we need to do is find ways to make sure those rules can be enforced and adhered to by all parties.
Mr. Mayor, I'm reading a breakdown from the Baltimore Sun here, and apparently in this, specifically in the Bayside neighborhoods that you're talking about, since January 1st, 2013, there have been 67 complaints from those neighborhoods, and only 13 of those 67 complaints occurred on rental properties. So doesn't it seem like the rental properties are being unfairly targeted with these moves?
And that could be possible, and it could also be that some are assuming that the properties that are creating a problem are rental properties, and they may not be. And I think those are the type of discussions that need to take place. It's not a this way or that way. I think there's a lot of discussion that has to happen. If we have 400 single-family homes that are rental properties and they're rented 10 weeks a summer, that's 4,000 families that come to Ocean City to enjoy that type of experience. So I'm sure that we're going to look at that very carefully to make sure we can continue to provide that type of vacation experience.
All right. So in addition to being the mayor, you're also a realtor, right?
I am.
And so you know that when people want to buy a home there, that one of the things they ask is, well, if I choose to rent it out, what would my rental income likely be? They are asked for these so-called projections, right?
Correct.
And so would you agree that a lot of people who go out and buy these single-family homes are buying them with the expectation that they will be there some and then try to recoup some of their expenses for having a summer home by renting to others?
Not as much in single-family neighborhoods, but yes, it does happen. And I think you really touched on what the issue is, that the realtor at that time should be able and educated enough to say to them, yes, you can rent it, but here are the restrictions that are currently in place. Here are the rules that you'd have to adhere to so that they know what they are going in, and they don't decide, oh, good, I can rent my house to a fraternity over the week for the week of July 15th, because that wouldn't be allowed. There would be too many people there. So I think it's all about making sure everything is disclosed properly.
It seemed to me that what you really have here, Mr. Mayor, it's just a few old sourpusses. I mean,
you can say it. Go ahead. They're not going to vote for you anyway.
Is that what's at play here?
You're talking about my constituents, so I'm not going to really refer to them in that manner.
But really
there's
quick,
always going to be some that complain, and there's always going to be, and some of the complaints are going to prove to be valid. And the key then is to say, okay, what is it we can do now to address those concerns of a few to make this better for everybody?
really quickly, you talk about your constituents. Is there any concern here that some of the people who own these rental properties, they are also your constituents? They may not live there, but they are property owners, and they should have a voice in this discussion as well.
They absolutely should, and they will. And I think that they're going to be represented by their agents. It's gotten quite a bit of publicity, as you just stated, the articles that you've read. So I think people are aware that the discussion will take place. And if everybody decides to be part of the solution, I think it can be worked out. That's the key.
All right. Mayor Rick Meehan of Ocean City.
He may take this as a criticism, but he's a fine politician.
Yeah,
I mean that in the best possible way.
Well, he's been the mayor for since 2006.
Pretty political maneuvering through this.
That doesn't happen without having some skills. Mayor Meehan, thank you for joining us. Greatly appreciated.
Thank you very much, and thanks for getting the information out. That helps make people be informed of when the discussion takes place, so everybody can be involved.
All right, thanks, Mayor. Have a good day.